interesting to live in a country where on paper, the economy is doing great. But for most people, every day when they wake up, they know that this country is in a recession, if not a full-blown depression. The layoffs haven't stopped. The tariffs are continuously having their impacts all throughout society. And the prices of everything at the store have continuously risen as well. And it's starting to affect many people's lives.
I got laid off from my corporate job yesterday. And I think that this is the reality for a lot of Americans right now, and it needs to be shared because America is not doing well right now. We have a 94% prediction rate that the recession is going to come, but yet our frickin' administration hasn't even made the move to actually say that a recession is coming. And let's actually call it what it is, a depression. People can't afford groceries, they can't afford rent, they can't afford buying houses, they can't afford having babies, they can't afford having the kids in general if they already have them. We are not in a good spot, y'all.
I think one of the things we've learned from the past decade is that definitions for certain financial events don't necessarily mean that the impact of those events aren't happening, even though on paper something isn't what it is, right? So we can say that it's not a depression. We can say that it isn't a recession, although there's scarcity of jobs. The cost of living has gone up so high that people can't afford the basic necessities, and it's becoming a matter of survival for many people. Housing is at a scarcity with such unaffordability that multiple generations at this point right now are just locked out of the opportunity to buy homes. And of course, the general sentiment that things are just driving downhill, that this economy, that this nation is on its last legs, is becoming a more than common sentiment.
I know that I'm just a number in a company, but I thought I was okay. You're going to think that you're okay because you've worked there for so long or you have the right experience. Like, you guys, I have an undergraduate in marketing, a master's in business, 6 years of paid social media experience, both on a strategist and manager level. I have done people management for at least 3 years. I'm a senior level in my career. And yet, when I was hired to do a senior level role, I was forced into entry level positions. I was doing entry level work as a senior level strategist, all while at the same time being asked to reduce my workload with AI. And our team was having layoffs every 3 months. I should have seen it coming. I really should have. But the thing is that it was not something that I saw coming. Because the day before that they laid me off, I was literally talking coverage plans with another employee who was going on leave for months. How am I supposed to sit there and not think that I'm safe in that moment?
And that's the reality of the moment right now, is that no one is actually safe. It doesn't matter if you have a tenured position. It doesn't matter if you are the very best at your job. If you have a corporate job, if you have a middle management job, your head's always going to be on the chopping block from here on out. Many of these corporations, one of the reasons that they've been having so many profits this year isn't because they've been doing great in sales, isn't because there's more investors coming in, it's simply because consolidation of the businesses and trimming the waste, making things more productive. But what that means is laying off a vast number of people and throwing that workload on other people or bringing in AI to replace those jobs so that they're actually not going to be coming back. You have to understand,
First and foremost, before we get started, I'd like to give all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakah Kwadash, and double honors to those great millstone, while I learned His truth, and also to those elect that is scattered abroad. I like to say, Shalom. Come back here today with another great and powerful lesson through the spirit and the power of Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. And the type of day lesson is, all the mirth of the land is gone. So I like to say shalom to all our listeners and learners. Hope to sweep you today and guide you back in the path of righteousness and back to your true power, which in fact is Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. So I did a quick Google search and came up with this little article here by Paul Krugman. I'm just going to read the title, then I'm going to expound on it. It says here, Decline and Fall of the American Empire. So that's exactly what we're witnessing, you know what I'm saying, today. You know, that's why we're seeing a lot of people are stressing out. A lot of people are crashing out. A lot of people are getting ready to bug out because they're seeing right now, you know, that America is not the same. They're seeing that their livelihood is changing. A lot of people right now are making life-changing events. You know, people, you know, like the lady said in the video, she thought she was a good case. The opening video, you know, she was discussing how the economy and how the job market, how things was on a decline. So she was saying that, you know, whereby that, you know, she thought she had been on a job And I think about some 10 years or so and had so many different degrees and also sorts of experience, but they were starting her off at a entry level. And also, and she was saying that, it's getting harder and harder for her to make ends meet. So a lot of people, getting to the point where they cannot afford their rent. They cannot afford food. Gas prices are constantly rising. Inflation. Also now, they can't make any more money. And also we know that now AI is taking over most of these jobs, and a lot of these jobs right now are ending. So we're seeing that the unemployment rate is constantly rising. And also we know right here, when you look at this photo right here, a picture of DJ Donald Trump, that cruel law, that Roman emperor, Neo reincarnation. He's constantly coming with these unrighteous decrees that he have prescribed, like these tabs and stuff, constantly causing disruption in the economy and also the job market. So we seeing a lot of these things on the decline. Also, we seeing right now it's rumors of a recession. Also, it's rumors of another government shutdown. I think it said around October. So we're seeing this dark forecast right before our eyes. So the bread and circus show is over with. It's no more relaxing in your league. No more the good old day. Also in the news, I had read a report. I think I seen it maybe about a month ago about Hollywood is dead. Saying that they're moving a lot of their production over into the UK. So right now, we're seeing right now all these people are packing up and getting the hell out of here because they're constantly seeing that America is slowly circling the drain. So I'm not going to read this article, but just like I said, the video kind of pretty much summed it up. So the bread and circus show is over with. We're seeing that Hollywood is packing up and getting out of here. We already know that that place there was very wicked. It had a lot of people, that predicted programming. So now all of a sudden now they seeing that that the curtains is shutting down. So we knowing that the world is a stage, and also we knowing that they're constantly telling people, President DJ Donald Trump, oh, the economy is doing great. We have the job market is wonderful, stock market is looking good. They tell you all these different things, and right now we're on the verge of a total economic collapse. It's at the end of the dollar. Also, these jobs are constantly drying up. AI is taking over. So we know that they come with this new digital infrastructure, a new system. And also we seeing that America is slowly becoming a police state. Total control, these draconian and Tartarian laws that they're constantly bringing forth. So this is Rome 2.0, the revised Roman Empire. So we seeing right now, and also seen another article that said America is going to make 250 years in 2026. They saying that, by history that none do not last, past that. So we already know right now that we're at the end of America. We're at the end of a earth age, eon. We're at the end of what Esau, Edom, the so-called white man rule. So also the Lord is constantly making him barren and barren. So a lot of these things are happening. You're seeing that these Republicans and Democrats going back and forth. There's no new thing under the sun. The Flavians and the patrician, back and forth, just like the ancient Roman Empire. So right now we're seeing this bread and circus show, and also we're seeing all this entertainment. The different things are constantly drying up. So right now a lot of people now are beginning to see that, hey, this is something is happening. A lot of people are having anxiety attacks. A lot of people are very depressed. A lot of people have a lot of uncertainty because they knowing that all hell is getting ready to break loose. And also this is setting the stage for what? Civil unrest, civil war. So we knowing that we're here. These things are right before our eye. All hell is getting ready to break loose. In the middle of the constantly warning, stock market, all these things are constantly disruption, on the decline, the infrastructure, all these things are constantly, left and right is constantly declining. We seeing right now, this place is crumbling like a cookie. So now, let's go here and get the meaning of mirth. I said all the mirth in the land is gone. Let's get this before we start today's lesson. Let's go here, a quick Google search. Then also we're going to go to the blue letter when we go to Isaiah chapter 24 and get that meaning. It's still pretty similar. It says here, in the Bible, mirth primarily means, joy, gladness, and rejoicing. So right now we're not seeing that anymore. A lot of people right now, the love of many is constantly waxing cold. A lot of people right now are very cold hearted. A lot of people are full of great pride and selfishness. A lot of these things are happening. A lot of abominations. Sin added to sin. And also it's often accomplished by laughter and festivities, but say it can also refer to foolish and excessive pleasure, especially when it distracts from spiritual duties or lead to spiritual poverty. So that's exactly what's going on right now. We're seeing a lot of distraction. We're seeing a lot of people right now, in the house of mirth. But one thing about right now, it says, in Ecclesiastes, I think it's chapter 7, whereby, the house of mirth is the house of fools. So right now, a lot of people right now living their lives very foolishly. They not being wise. They not perceiving the evil, seeing that the economy is constantly on the decline, seeing right now that these jobs are constantly drying up left and right. Also, we seeing that tension is rising, among the government, also among the citizens, civil unrest, sedition. A lot of these things are coming in place when people have a lack of bread, a lack of resources, necessity, when you don't have a job, when you can't feed your family, when you can't go find another job, no transportation, things are constantly is heading that way. We right at the boiling point. We seeing that these plagues are not slacking down. They on every side. So right now the joy, the gladness, and the rejoicing is getting ready to be a thing of the past. So a lot of people right now, thinking that there was a good case, but now they're finding out that dark forecast. You know what I'm saying? So things are drying up. So we're seeing right now that the vibration is changing. The earth is mourning, right now. And also we're seeing that transition to power right before our eyes. So now let's start this quick lesson. And we're going to start the lesson. And once again, I hope that you will get edified. So let's start here first. And Isaiah chapter 24 in verse 4 said, the earth mourneth and fadeth away. Said the world languish and fadeth away. Said the haughty people of the earth do languish. Verse 5 said, the earth also is defiled under the inhabitants thereof, because they have transgressed the law, changed the ordinance, broken the everlasting covenant. Verse 6 said, therefore has the curse devoured the earth, and they that dwell therein are desolate. Therefore the inhabitants of the earth are burned, and few men are left. So we coming upon that time. And also we already knowing, that these Bible prophecies are speaking loud and clear, left and right. We seeing right now that the earth is mourning, and also it's fading away. We seeing that transition to power right before our eyes. And also this place is getting ready to be totally destroyed. That's where we at right now, and these things are happening at a fast pace. And one thing about these Bible prophecies is speaking loud and clear. So we just want to get a little bit touch on this. That's verse 7. It said, the new wine mourneth. It said, and the vine language. Said, all the merry-hearted do sigh. That's what we constantly seeing. It says here, said the mirth of the tabrets ceases. The noise of them that rejoice in its the joy of the harps ceases. So that's exactly what it's saying. All the joy, all the rejoicing, all the festivities. These things are constantly driving up, just drying up. Things are changing. People right now, they're, are very now serious right now. A lot of people are constantly worried right now. A lot of uncertainties. Verse 9, it said, they shall not drink wine with a song. Strong drink shall be bitter. Said to them that drink it. Said verse 10 said the city of confusion is broken down. Said every house is shut up that no man may come in. So that's exactly what we constantly seeing. This place is what constantly, the city of confusion, what is that? America, this place right here, a lot of people are very confused. This place is all out of order. That's what we constantly seeing left and right, all sorts of mischief, rumors. These things are constantly coming to an end. This place is, constantly closing down, circling the drain. Verse 11 says, there is a crying for wine in the street. So all the joy is darkness. So the mirth of the land is gone. So that's the title of the day lesson. So let's go into this word mirth in the interstellar. Let's get to pretty much the same thing. I just want to see how it reads in the blue letter. So let's look it up right quick. Let's go here to H4885. Let's go here. Let's go straight to the point. Let's go to the biblical online use. It says exaltation, joy, rejoicing. So that's coming to an end. So this place is going to be a lot of people is going to be grabbing their ankles very soon. A lot of people going to be very afraid. A lot of people going to be travailing with a woman with child because they're seeing right now all the mirth is getting ready to go. All this exaltation, joy, and rejoicing is getting ready to be a thing of the past. Remember the days of Noah. They was eating and drinking and having a great old time. Then the flood came and destroyed them all. But not water this time, by those IBCM missiles that laser and chariot fire for Yahweh by Shema Abshai. Fire is going to destroy this earth. So now let's go here to Ecclesiastes. Let's go to Ecclesiastes, just rolling in the spirit with this lesson. Ecclesiastes chapter 1. Ecclesiastes chapter 12 and verse 1. He said, remember now thou creator in the days of thy youth. So while the evil days come not, nor the year draw nigh, when thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them. So you get ready to say that you have no pleasure in these times, Jacob trouble, the hour of temptation. So right now you got to make every opportunity like it's your last, so when you very useful, when you're right now when things are going pretty much going well for you right now. It's time to seek the Lord. And right now we're seeing now that a lot of people are going to seek the Lord, but it will be too late, because when these things come upon us, they're going to go straight to the prophet. Where are these demons out? But we will not be found. So right now, you will have no pleasure in these times of trouble. Let's read this once again. It says here in the NLT, it says that don't let the excitement of your youth cause you to forget your creator. Honor him in your youth. Said before you grow old and say life is not pleasant anymore. So one thing about it, when you're youthful, when you're vigorous, when you're able, when times are good, it's time to seek the Lord, while he can be found, because we are running out of time. So right now, take every opportunity, redeem the time wisely, because the days of what are evil. Verse 2 said, while the sun or the light or the moon or the stars be not darkened, nor the clouds return after the rain. Verse 3 said, in the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease, because they are few, and those that look out the window be darkened. So that's exactly what's happening. So the keepers of the house, talking about these stockbrokers, these financial advisors, constantly, watching, what's going on. You're seeing the decline, in the stock market. You're seeing it is falling off, it's plummeting, that dark forecast, and constantly seeing it left and right, These things are coming right before that great crashing in the hill. And also it said, the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease, because they are few. And I about it, when you go on that word grinders, go into job employment. And so and they say they are few. So we're seeing that right now, the jobs are very few. A lot of people right now don't have any job. A lot of people are unemployment, don't know what they're going to do, don't know where their next meal going to come from. Tensions is rising left and right. And also it says that looking out the window, this window be dark. And so they're seeing right now that things are not looking good. They're seeing right now that America is not the same place it used to be over 20 something years ago. That, this place is finished. It's drying up. People are is packing up and getting the hell up out of here. And one thing about it, we already knowing that, things gonna get worse and worse. There's nothing is going back the same. So all the mirth is gone. Verse 4 said, and the door shall be shut in the street. So when the sound of the grinding is low, and he shall rise up at the voice of the birds, and all the daughters of music shall be brought low. So this is where we at. So the doors are shut in the street. So we're seeing that right now, that a lot of these jobs are closing down, getting up out of here. We're seeing it right now. America is going out of business. And also we're seeing that the grinding is low. Right now people, we knowing that it used to be, the hustle and the bustle of the city. People say, I'm about to get my grind on. So now, that is ceasing right now. No jobs, no opportunity. A lot of people gonna resort to the what? To the sword, which in fact the so-called white man, he get ready to resort to that sword. When things get very critical, people are going to start robbing, stealing, killing, and raping. These things are coming upon us at a fast pace. So that's exactly what we're seeing. People right now waking up early in the morning, seeing that, hey man, it's nothing to do. I don't know what I'm going to do. Jesus. So let's go here to Second Ezra. Let's go to Second Ezra. Let's get this one, and we'll probably close out. Let's go here to Second Ezra chapter 16. Let's go here straight to the point, because so we're seeing right now that we're at the beginning of sorrow. Things right here is at the break. Man, we're here. Let's drop down here to Second Ezra chapter 16, and we go straight to the point. I think it's chapter 16 and verse 18. It said, the beginning of sorrows and great mourning, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars, and the power shall stand in fear. It said, the beginning of evils, what shall I do when these evils shall come? So that's exactly what we constantly seeing, left and right. All the mirth is gone. We're seeing what? The beginning of sorrow. We're seeing what? The beginning of great mourning. We're seeing what? The beginning of famine, in the land. Famine of the word also is fast brought food shortage, rolling blackout, cyber attack, a lot of things got great economic collapse, great death. Also, we're seeing a lot of plagues and disease are fast approach. They constantly tell you about this is increasing, that is increasing. And also we know that the C-19 is still here. And a lot of things, the beginning of war. So we're seeing war is constantly brewing in the Middle East, also over here in our own backyard. Wars are all over the place. Rumors of war are everywhere. Russia and Ukraine, Iran and Israel, China and Taiwan, America and Venezuela, and the list go on and on. We're seeing that. So it says here, it's at the beginning of evils. Right now, Jacob's trouble is getting ready to kick off. A time of trouble that we've never seen before. It said, what shall I do when these evils shall come? We're going to trust and believe in Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua. Verse 19 said, behold, famine, plague, tribulation, and anguish are sent as scourges for amendment. So that's what we're constantly seeing right now. We're seeing the plague, we're seeing the tribulation and the anguish constantly picking up, scourges for amendment. It's time to what? To examine yourself, get your house in order, let go of the mortal thoughts, because it's constantly what? Picking up, it's constantly what? Increasing. Verse 20 said, but for all these things, they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of scourges. So a lot of people right now are still, not turning from their wickedness, and also they're not being mindful of these scourges, these plagues, these tribulations, these anguish that's fastly approaching left and right. Something is happening. People are getting laid off. People are stressed out. People are crashing out. People are bugging out, and people are getting ready to what? Start to uprising, civil unrest, civil war. These things are coming upon us, they get ready to rise up. Verse 21 says, behold, victors shall be good and cheap upon the earth, that they shall think themselves to be in good case. But and even then shall evils grow upon the earth, sword, famine, and great confusion. So right here, so a lot, that lady would think that she was a good case, and she constantly seeing that those evils constantly growing. A lot of people, still have a job right now, might have a little piece of job, but they constantly hearing these rumors left and right. A lot of people getting laid off. They still have a little financial right now. But guess what? All these things are getting ready to dry up. We're already seeing that what we could have be another government shutdown. So right now people say, oh, I have, stuff prepped. I have this job, been in this job for 10 years, and all of a sudden they come to you and tell them, you're laid off and the company is closed, and don't give you no excuse. And some people don't even get any type of what you call unemployment, some type of service pay. So these things are coming upon us, and people gonna go with what? Gonna resort to that survival mode. Verse 22 said, for many of them that dwell upon the earth shall perish of the famine, and the other that escape the hunger, the sword shall destroy. So that's what we're coming upon right now. You escape one calamity, You know what I'm saying? The sword is going to destroy. You know what I'm saying? That in the modern day sword is the gun. So a lot of people going to resort to their guns. I got to eat. You know what I'm saying? I'm starving. I got to do what I got to do. And also a lot of people gonna line up and take that grain of rice. And we know that we're very close to these times. So let's go here to Isaiah chapter 19, because it's setting the condition. The Lord is setting the condition for what? The Egyptian against the Egyptian, meaning the Americans against the Americans. So they said, where we at? Right at the point of what? Civil war. Let's go here to Isaiah chapter 19 and verse 2. And it says, and I will set the Egyptian against the Egyptian, and they shall fight every one against his brother and every one against his neighbor, city against city and kingdom against kingdom. So that's what we're constantly seeing left and right when they go telling you about a recession, telling you about a government shutdown, telling you about a great economic collapse. And also we know we're at the verge of the end of the dollar. We're seeing right now we get ready to go into this new transition to digital, programmable and also implantable money under your skin. We're gonna put it just like that. So we're seeing it right now. They're setting the stage for that. Sedition, rioting, protesting. We go over these things left and right. So a lot of people get ready to resort to this, because of what? A lack of bread, a lack of what? A resource, lack of what? Necessities. Your way of life is getting ready to change. This place is getting ready to be a third world country. Let's read verse 4. It says, and the Egyptian will I give over unto the hands of a cruel Lord, and a fierce king shall rule over them, says the Lord of hosts. So right here, we know who that cruel Lord is, DJ Donald Trump. He's just not getting started. Constantly signing these executive orders left and right, these tariffs and different things like that, constantly signing all sorts of things into law. And also he's constantly targeting the people of color. So these things are fast approaching. And what we constantly warning you about left and right, the stage is set, all things are ready. We'll probably get one more and we'll close out. Let's go here to Isaiah chapter 33, because at that time you're going to have to have this knowledge or you will be none regarded. Let's go to Isaiah chapter 33, we'll close out here. Isaiah chapter 33 and verse 6. And it reads that wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times, and strength of salvation, and the fear of the Lord is his treasure. So right here, wisdom and knowledge, this gospel, shall sustain you in times of trouble. Stability goes into your faith. So you're going to have faith when these things come upon this earth. When, you don't have any food, you don't have a job, you don't have a home, your family was taken away from you, or might got unalive right before your eyes, you're going to have that stable what? Stable mind, some stability. And the only way you will have that stability is this wisdom, this knowledge, this understanding that come from who? Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. And also the fear of the Lord is a treasure. Not about who fear the Lord. That's the elect, the true believers of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. So we constantly seeing that the mirth of the land is gone. We're coming upon a great tribulation period of time that we have never seen before. Jacob's trouble, the hour of temptation. Watch, pray, and be sober. So the title of the day lesson, once again, is the mirth of the land is gone. So I like to give all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rekah Kwadash. I like to say, Shalom, Kwam Yasara, Shalom.